I have gone live. Figured I'd have a little whiskey chat before we started dinner, or I go for dinner. Whatever happens first. See if anybody comes in. Got me a whiskey glass. I got me some bottles of whiskey. Loch Ness, how's the move? You got your son all set up and ready? Got his own new pad. It's a big move. He's probably pretty excited about that, isn't he? Have his own place. Summertime. I got a nice chilled beer here. It's Big Rock Honey Brown. Santa Cruzin'. All right. You are a very generous and fortunate man. I think that's going to be cool to get a poster, and they're going to ship it around and get as many people to sign it as possible. You did really good. So we're talking for the people that come in later or watch this after. Santa Cruzin' was on the Scotch Test Dummies show or in the chat and bid on a poster from their 12 Hours of Boom, where they did a 12-hour live. And he got that poster, man. And he got himself a new Glencairn glass coming from the Whiskey Cask, Mark Gillespie. You did right on well, man. I think that's awesome. Right on well. That is a word. Anyway, all moved in. All is good. Awesome. V-Rich, you did an awesome job trying, man. You had hard competition against you. I'm going to open up a Canadian beer here, gentlemen. Not that this now I feel like I sound like he's a friend of Swami's. Jay, whatever his name is. Anyway, we got some Honey Browns going from Big Rock, made in Alberta. I'm in Saskatchewan right now, and I'm going to tell you, they got some nice beer down here, but this province has a 15% liquor consumption tax. You did try, and that's all that helped. It made them other guys try harder, so they got more money. And you know what? I don't mind for that cause, actually. It's a sad state that we have to actually help people eat. Food should be a commodity. Not a commodity. It should just be a given, man. Everybody should just have food. Shouldn't have to worry about that stuff. But it is a win-win. So cheers to you, Santa Cruzin', to V. Rich. Eric, did the screen just freeze? I don't think it froze. Anybody else having a problem? Or did Eric have a flashback? Is that where you started? I don't know when I started, buddy. But there's something about those guys. I got to give them credit. I think they're pretty genuine. They really started out with literally meaning that they were Scotch Test Dummies. We've all watched their old shows. And they have grown, and they're becoming experienced whiskey fans. And it's great that they keep sharing with us. I really like them. I mean, I'm always been a fan of the man we mention all the time, Ralphie. But they've taken it to another level. Sure, there's tons of us out there, but I don't even consider myself really one. I just like the chats. And then I got told I should try this, and it worked out. But one day, maybe, we'll see. I'd like to do a few things different, just to be different, just like you, Eric. Eric does a pretty good job out there. That last review he did was cool with Extravaganza. Pardon me. Much more elegant the way you said it, but same thing. Is it worth the extra $50? And in the long run, yeah, because it's limited, get it. For the Extravaganza, that is, or the Spice Tree. But yeah, I like your reviews, Eric. I see you trying and making some changes that I haven't done anything. But I keep doing the lives because they're kind of the easiest. They are a class act. I got myself this kind of rig though now. Been playing with a few different ideas, and maybe we'll be able to produce something a little bit better. They are a class act, man. I think between the two of them, they got a lot of experience, especially dealing with the public. Oh, yeah. You doing a live tonight, Eric? I always forgot. Sunday. Yeah, but you're usually on by now. You didn't come on. You love my show. Great banter, info, and a relaxed life. Thank you very much, Loch Ness. I appreciate that. Sometimes I think I ramble too much. And I should look up words at etymology.com. But only for Eric's sake, so that it doesn't rip out his hair. Wink, wink. Hello, Big Belushi. I think you told me your real name was Matthew. Was that right, or was that someone else? Anyway, welcome, buddy. Glad to see you around. But Brian, man, you know what? You try to do this live stuff and these videos. You buy yourself a Yeti mic, and you buy yourself the camera. I've had that camera for years, right? Pressman, how you doing? And then you got to find cables out of cables. Today I went and got this cable just for HDMI, because I think I can use that camera as a webcam as well. So this HDMI's got your regular big size HDMI, then it's got a micro HDMI, and then it's got a mini or whatever else. Like, why are there 3 different sizes of HDMI? And then I bought a new computer, and it's got the C or Thunderbolt or whatever that Apple calls it, which is kind of good because I got some stuff from work that all comes with that too. And it's great, I hear, for 4K and all that stuff. But you can get me some deals on what? Nice digs apartment. Yeah, that's not a bad place. This guy has the house cut up and maybe 3 or 4 different apartments in it. It's all right. I would say that you have the live market. Well, that's a nice compliment. I don't know if I have the live market, but I like it. I like live. And the algorithm for YouTube apparently is live. Although I have to give a compliment to the Whiskey Dick. He gave me an apology, even though my rant a couple shows ago wasn't about him. And the Canadian whiskey stuff. I mean, it was partially him. But he apologized on an Instagram live I did. And I think he saw on his last live there that he didn't really know much about Canadian whiskey. That's okay. It's all fine and dandy, and that was the whole point. Has moobs. I'm not sure about that. I think I do too, actually. Way more than I should. Anyway, he apologized, and he's always been fairly generous to myself. Just at that time, he said, if you want help figuring out how to do certain things for your shows, he will. So, Bill from the Whiskey Dick, thank you very much for your offer, your generosity. I could use a little tutorial. Hey, Jason Whiskey Wise, talking about another guy that's been generous to offer helping with some tutorials and learning how to do this stuff. Another good guy. And if any of you guys, all you guys know who Jason Whiskey Wise is, man. He does a good show. I have man boobs too. I just hide them different. I'm 42% fat, body fat from my chin down to my waist. If I add in my arms and legs, I can be about 36, 37, right? So that's how it works, right? I have a beautiful girlfriend. Yeah, she is. She's away. I'm away and she's home. She's with her family doing stuff right now. Anyway, how many of you guys? Almost all that are here right now were on the Scotch Test Dummies show, right? Watching it. It was great stuff. I need another beer here. You know, I will get you cut again, right? Will you? Oh, I know. Intermittent dieting is partial what you did. Dram for Fams was awesome. I know Travis because he lives in Edmonton. And they have a nice little small club, Edmonton Whiskey Club there. And they do put a lot of effort. To have any club, it doesn't even have to be as big as theirs. I think they have 28 members, and they don't want any more. at this point anyway. It takes effort, and they do a little sharing, right, to do a few things. But it's a nice organized group. Very good. I was a member of another one, which has changed now. So I was a member of ASS, Alberta Scotch Society. They changed it to the Alberta Whisky Society just recently. I hopefully will see some better things coming out of them too. Richie Z, thanks for coming in. It was awesome seeing you there. I hope you don't need tires that bad, but that's kind of cool. You got those 3 coins. I'd put them somewhere. Although I might want to carry them around, because if we all ended up meeting somewhere and we had those challenge coins and we couldn't produce them, you're going to look bad. I don't know if I want to carry them around in my pocket all the time, though. They're pretty hefty. I don't know if you caught my comment, but I think those coins could be put in a freezer and used as like whiskey stones. They must have been getting a lot of A5s for it. So I don't know what I said about A5 or something. You have to remind me. You finally got some. Yes, you didn't. You got premium ones, right? I think they got, that's a good idea what they have there. And Belushi, I don't know, you work with cables or electronics, but yeah, it would be nice if somebody came up with one hub that just you could put anything into. Yeah. I mean, I have these big whiskey glasses and the coins fit in there. That time when Bart came on the show for the live chat with Julie, I think, when we had the t-shirts, I put them all in there. It just popped into my head. I said, these could be used for something else. Loch Ness, nice. Yeah, that's true. I assume they got $500 worth of dough. They got in the area, Jay Fretless, of $1,500, $1,600. Of course, there's currency exchanges and so forth. I like the idea they had about just going on PayPal and putting donations in that way. You're cutting out YouTube and you're cutting out Patreon, but they get all the money. So it's a little bit better. And Santa Cruz and Richie Z are the biggest winners. The stuff they got. And you know what? The number one winners are the food banks. It's amazing how much they need. Even here in Moose Jaw, it's a little place surrounded by farms everywhere. They have a food bank here. So there's a need for it. If they didn't have it, a lot of people will be going hungry, and we'd probably be in a worse place as a public. 13 watchers, 3 likes. Come on, peeps, like and sub. Thank you very much, Mr. Belushi. No, well, that is true. It's not about making money, though, buddy. Sharing is caring. It is. I couldn't say I do any of these things without help from many of these guys. So, what have you guys been doing? It's pretty good. I thought it'd come on earlier here. I thought Eric Waite had a show. I saw Eric in here. Said something about camera froze. Anyway, Eric, I hope I'm not stepping on your toes. I didn't get no notifications. Go Habs. Where is Go Habs? Is he here? Ah, there you are. Evening, folks. Evening, Go Habs. What else we got? Jason, how you doing? Found Tommy for your mommy polo shirts at Goodwill for 99 cents. Tommy for your mommy. I'm not sure what that is, but hey. I have a jacket I really like. It's a winter jacket. Well, you know what? I don't know what. It could be a little bit of both. And I bought it for $12 at the what we call the VV Boutique. It's called the Value Village Boutique. Right? And that guy's got a business set up like you wouldn't believe. I am not home yet, Talmar. I am in my rental suite in Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan. As I've repeated plenty of times, often called Little Chicago. should grab something here. Oh, I keep saying I'm going to read something, but work is going to get very demanding next week. The Moose Jaw Express, they got that old bus downtown area, what they call it downtown. It's bus number 19, City of Moose Jaw Transit System. Couldn't have been needed very much. It's not a very big area. The City Monday launched this new bus on the Saskatchewan Westmount Run. It was one of the largest buses in the city transit system. Here, Alderman S.D. Brody, chairman of the Traffic Advisory Board, chats with the bus' first Moose Jaw occupant, Robert Searcy, manager of the transit system. 1964. 4 years before I was born, people. Hey, my bourbon journey. Purchased by the city of Moose Jaw for $19,978 in 1964. The bus seated 35 passengers and had a V6 gasoline engine. Late in its career, a new motor was installed. For the last years of its service, it was used as a pusher to push disabled buses into the bus. This sounds like what you'd see in the latest Disney car movie. It was sold to a private citizen in Moose Jaw in 1991. Not to exceed 10 miles per hour. The story of the Moose Jaw Electric Railway, 1910 to 1932. I like these little places. There's a lot more history to them than we think, right? So what have I missing here? The chat's going moose knuckle. They just drinking on the deck, cooking some rotisserie chicken. Do you have a rotisserie chicken oven on your deck? Man, now I am hungry. My stomach was growling. When we were doing that show, I just ate a handful of almonds. I was drinking this stuff here I bought in the grocery store. Wild tea kombucha. It is not an iced tea type of thing you drink because you enjoy it. But somebody told me that kombucha, I know about kombucha itself, but that it would help maybe balance out my gut. I don't know what it was, but I got a little bacterial infection. Anyway, whoever asked me, I am still in Moose Jaw. I think, and it's a nice place, man. It's full of murals. The roads are terrible. Dusty right now. We'll see. It's still spring, right? Why I don't waste on retail clothing. I can blow on retail whiskey. Good point. Jason, whiskey wise, what are you doing? What time is it over there now? 5. Oh, man, you're up late. I wish I was young again and I could stay up late like that. I still stay up late, but I can't do it like I used to. So here's some beer, and I have 3 bourbons in front of me, or 3 whiskeys in front of me. And since my bourbon journey's here, and Scott keeps threatening me with a good time that he's going to come live with me one day, or we're going to do a live, I think I'm just going to open up this. Since Scott always comes in faithfully, I'm going to open up a bottle of my bourbon rare, or my Eagle Rare, for my bourbon journey. The population of Moose Jaw. Oh, I might have to Google that, man. I never looked at it. Maybe 30,000, maybe 60,000. Yeah, it's not like terribly, terribly small. But it's small. I mean, come on, there's only 30 to 35 million Canadians. How many people live in where you live? There's more people that live near you. Do it? All right, I'm going to do it. What are you saying there, Jason? The chat's going faster than usual. You guys know each other too well. All right, we're going to open this 10-year-old Eagle Rare bourbon. Anybody on here not have Eagle Rare bourbon? I was at a whiskey tasting. There's a guy on Twitter, lives in my area. Never met him before. Calls himself Malt Troll, at Malt Troll. His name's Dave, and he was doing a fundraiser for cancer. One of his children had cancer. And he's done several over the years, several of them. You want to get the, yeah, I want to get the 18. Are we talking about the 18-year-old Eagle Rare? Anyway, he did a bourbon only one and turned me right on to bourbon. Now Dave's kind of the guy that started me into collecting, and he calls my whiskey room the Throttle Cave because he calls his the Troll Cave or the Malt Troll Cave. I used to have nothing compared to him, and now he came by last winter, and he says I got to bring my wife over so she can see how out of hand it can get a collection. 18-year-old Glen Scotia. Oh, yes. I have some Glen Scotia. I need to look at it. Just had a 1.5 Skype call with my dad. All right, I think I caught up. You got to do a live sometime this week if you're free. And yeah, let's do one. I don't know how we're going to work out the difference of times, but let's do a little tiny hangout and talk about it. Let's figure it out, right? All right, popping the cork. Pop. Oh, I love the smell of bourbon. I do. And we had a little talk after the live show. They invited me to a hangout. And we got talking about the bourbon mash from Crown Royal. And the biggest mistake, guys, anybody gets a hand on that, don't think it's anything like a bourbon at all, okay? That was the marketing department's fault. And I bet you that was somebody from the U.S. because they also put out a Crown Royal Texas Mesquite that just came out. Don't expect that to be very good, too. It's flavored with some mesquite seasoning of some sort. I haven't tried it. I doubt I will. They're just, they got apple, everything Jim Beam does, apple this, apple that. Crown Royal's putting it in because, well, they're not owned by the same company, but there we go, boys. Oh, come on. I can have a little more than that, can I? Oh, look at that. So nice and oily. I haven't watched one review on Eagle Rare, so my comments may not be different. Do you have one, My Bourbon Journey, on 10-year-old Eagle Rare? How about we do a live this week? Okay, let's do it. I'm willing. Yeah, okay, Jason. I may have some short days this week because we're kind of on call, right? Waiting for certain things. So we'll see how that works out, or all three of us can do it together. That would be cool. Canadian, an Englishman, and can I call you a Yankee? I don't even know if you're in that area. You have several Eagle Rare. You have several Eagle Rare, Skippy. But have you done a review of this one here, or did I miss them? So, I could be just a bourbon guy. I really could. Jason, whiskey wise, you're going to bed already? All right, we will chat one-on-one. It's easier than me trying to keep up to some of the stuff that's put in here, right? Because I got to sift through here. Can I read the code on the bottle? I don't know. Can I? That's 45% ABV. Yeah, I can, I think. 18 L18 18005011845 What does that mean to you? Does that tell you the year it was made? That's actually etched right into the glass. That's something else. I need to hear that again. L18005011844 Bourbon conversation begins. I love bourbon. Now, I went to my first whiskey festival. I went there. They give you your own whiskey glass, a normal size Glencairn, not these things. And there's one guy calls me over. He says, try this. And I said, what is it? He said, just try it. And I saw this little thing. It said High West. I'm like, oh. I said, that's not even bourbon. That's not even anything. I don't want that. I'm here for the scotch, cocky newbie. And he said, just try it. So I did. I kept that in my glass almost the entire freaking festival. I got another glass for all the scotches I tried. I could go around smelling that double rye. I don't know how long. And I mean, this is nothing like the double rye. Don't get me wrong here. But it is. You're right. High West is great chemistry, man. So when we were at the Compass Box tasting a few months back, Julie and I mentioned that I thought that the way John Glasser approached blending was similar to the way the guy from High West did his stuff. Interesting thing, he says to me, he says, yeah, they're friends. They talk all the time. So it makes me feel good when an idea I have actually has some resonance and truth behind it. I would like to know more. But I think the actual, and I forget his name now, from High West, he's still involved, I believe, even though they sold the company. But they are, he actually is some engineering chemistry or something like that anyway. Good whiskey is good whiskey, Tomar. I agree. Except this cloudy stuff. But I'm not going to give up on it. It's cloudy as in it's cloudy. That's the color. It's not got stuff floating in it. It's just cloudy, right? Yeah, man. Loch Ness. Cheers, buddy. Eagle Rare is Buffalo Trace Mash Bill 1. Like Old Charter GTS. No. Okay, I'll take your word for it. It's not as sweet as I remember. Or it's just less sweet than other bourbons. Maybe that's why I like it. Of course, I literally just opened, as you saw. It is. I think we'll try to limit this show to an hour. Yeah, I have an older bottle. It has the number 10 here. Now they put the 10-year-old on the back of the label at the bottom of the description. It used to say single barrel. Oh, see? That's good knowledge, Mr. Belushi. I must have an old single barrel then. Damn. I bought this because it was the same price, give or take $1 or $2, as it is in my province. But there was an $8.21 tax just on buying that bottle. Tom. Okay, first of all, Tom, I'm an American. You're an American. I'm from the United Provinces of America, and you're from the United States of America. Of, meaning of something bigger. Just how I like to put it. So, this t-shirt, Swami made a comment about this t-shirt being low cut. Now it's psychologically warped me, eh? So, keep pulling on it. Yeah, on the back. Food Quake. Hey, buddy, how you doing? You know what? I need to do some research on the BTAC stuff. Somebody, when I was doing my Instagram lives and I first did the room thing with, I don't know, Lloyd, Whiskey Getting Weird with the Beard, and then Scott, people were saying that to me, and Whiskey in the Six, they're like, you got a whole bunch of these, and I don't know if I do or not. To tell you the truth, I was just buying stuff and putting it on the shelf, and then I travel for work, and I never got back to it, and I buy more stuff. So I'm not that kind of, I wasn't an intentional collector. Oh, I could do this all day. Let it open up a bit. Yeah, I'm going to, buddy. But now that Belushi mentioned that it's not single barrel anymore, I'm curious to look at my other bottle. It still tastes good. Still good stuff. I'm going to look at a picture of my bottle here. That ABC, too fast. Eagle, eagle, eagle. E, B, C, D, E, F. Elijah Craig, Edrador, Eagle Rare, single barrel. Yep. You're absolutely right. Don't know if I can get it. Eagle Rare, single barrel. That's the one I have at home. Very different. Whiskey Sneerson, how you doing, buddy? I got your email, and I really appreciate it. Sorry, I kept saying last time I was talking on live that Sneerson's from Regina. He's not. He's from another city in Saskatchewan. So I got that wrong. And that I still want to hook up with these guys about this bushels stuff and go to their show and do all right, let's do one this week. You just made me hungry. Thanks very much for that, Scott. Now I don't know, I'm gonna have to go find some my own rotisserie chicken. Maybe I'll just buy a cooked one at the grocery store. Right. Black Saddle 12, never heard of it, is supposedly EC12. Nailed it. That's mad collectible. Well, I like collectibles, buddy. I got to have some sort of a retirement plan. I'm not as smart as Santa Cruzing. We'll see how many more years I can physically do this. Richard Plankus, you troublemaker. Food Quake, are you doing a live show tonight? Sneerson is cool. Yes. And I think on my way home, when this job's done, I don't know if you're going to be around at the end of the month, I may take a stop. Here's what I'd like to do, Whiskey Sneerson. I'd like to find out that the board game buddy that Bart has from the Scotch Test Dummies, because he lives in your town, and you, then we meet up, we have some whiskey while we play a board game. Why not, right? Scotch Test Dummies, how you doing? Yes, there. Everybody's here that jumped in on you. We were just talking to Santa Cruzan and Richie about how fortunate they were and generous they were to the food banks of North America. A board, yeah, we may be bored. Whiskey Sneerson and I could be bored where we're playing it, but it might be fun. I don't know. Let me know what you think of that idea, Sneerson. Peter White, I'm still working on 15-year-old Wisers here. But right now, we're going to have a little Eagle Rare. I am very impressed with how much money you guys actually raised. I'm very happy that it worked out that way, man. It doesn't take much, eh? Just a little bit at a time. All adds up sooner or later. I probably should tell that to my bank. Yeah, this Eagle Rare is not like that single barrel. Damn, man. I can't believe. I'm glad you mentioned that to me, Belushi. She certainly is a little drier. What did you miss, Food Quake? I am your brother in spirit. Thank you very much. Peter White, ER10 is a staple in my bar. Eagle Rare 10 is, but I have a bottle at home that John Belushi pointed out is a single barrel. This new stuff is not a single barrel. They still call it a 10-year-old, but it's not. This is good stuff. Oh, yeah, your night shift. I know, buddy. I've done night shift. It throws you off for a while. I mean, you do it regularly. I mean, I do it for like a month at a time, although lately I've been refusing to. It was an awesome show, and what they did was a local guy in my area, Food Quig, Travis, started a whiskey club several years ago, and through that whiskey club, they started a fundraiser called Drams for Fams, and it is for the food banks. So they've raised, I don't know what, I forget what he said, $5,000 this year or last year. And today, the Scotch Test Dummies decided to help him out and join in with Mark Gillespie. And they had Travis on, and they raised in the area of $1,600 of different donations from different countries and so on to go to all different food. Now I forgot food banks in various areas, so it's a good cause. They raised $15,000 last year. Thank you, Scott. So I think it's a good thing. I've seen lots of other ones. I'd rather do something like this. I've met a lot of people that volunteer at the food banks and whatnot, and I think they make a more immediate difference than donating money to certain institutes, whether it be cancer or whatever. Those are things that are important, but I think this is more important, or more immediate anyway. Why don't we all go down and toilet paper Eric White's house? He was on here for 2 seconds. I don't know if he had his own live. I don't think he was. Usually he's done one earlier, right? I think that's a good idea. And we'll use the 2-ply. Or can we get thicker than 2-ply? It might be, buddy. I don't know about that. That's a pretty heavy topic. I wouldn't blame you, buddy. Thanks, Ben. 5 tonight. I'd fly to Cali to help paper Eric White's house. Santa Cruz. Or San Diego. Isn't that where he lives? Let's do it, paper. I think he might live in a condo, though. We might have a lot of people mad at us besides Eric White. Eric may laugh, but I think we might. It's not a single person dwelling. Although, it is an idea. We could go down to Wichita. We could toilet paper a couple guys' houses down there. West Coast legit. This stuff is nice. I should have brought a little water in, even though it's only a 45. But I would definitely say it's not the same as that single barrel. And man, am I choked that I only have one bottle of the single barrel left. We'll bring her, Scott. We'll bring it in anytime you want. If you'd like, I'll even invite you into the chat. If I can remember how to type it in. No, I have not had any contact with him. Although, oddly enough, he may be of the same age as me, and we may have gone to the same high school. I believe he lives out east, but I don't know. I don't know him personally. No, and I do believe he's a lawyer or something, right? I was that close and just kept hesitating, John, to go down to the Kentucky and the Bourbon Trail in the wintertime. What made me hesitate was there was lots of closures. One of the guys I follow on Facebook, he actually lives in Lexington, and he says, yeah, they have lots of closures because of a snowstorm, but there's no snowstorm. Dude, what's this making dinner? When did you become a housewife? Just joking. I cook all the time. No, Nouveau Brunswick, not Nova Scotia. My middle name is Nick. Yeah, maybe. You ask an awful lot of questions, Belushi. Elizabethtown, part of the year. Yes, he did say that he used the... I hope you're not going to use the ones you got for pasties, Richie. They'd be the most expensive pasties I think anyone's ever used. Year 10 is still available as store picks, although rumor has it that getting rid of it. I heard that rumor, but this is not a single barrel. It's a 10-year-old fretless, but it does not say single barrel on it anyway. And I shouldn't be holding it by one hand over my new computer. It doesn't say single barrel on it anywhere at all. Does Bart know anything about this? Has this gone to not a single barrel, but still a 10-year-old? Why would that happen? I don't understand. They have a lot of partial bottles mixed together that are... I don't know what the law is down there about age. Richie. Tomar, you are my sniper. Yeah, my bottle's not a single barrel. I bought this here, and it's obviously a new release. Still very drinkable. And like Scott from My Bourbon Journey said, let it open up and it probably will get better. As you saw, I just literally opened it up. It's spicier than I remember and not as sweet. Store picks will get the single barrel. It is more tannic and more oaky, yes. I'm glad you guys are here to help me find the right words. I could drink it, though. It'd be good in cocktails, too. It is better than Bullet. But then again, everything is better than Bullet. Okay, I'm going to blow on it. I'm going to give it mouth to mouth. More oxygen makes it better, Scott says. Well, we'll have to see if we get that up here in Canada, but they're bringing this one up, and apparently, again, one more thing we don't get enough of up here in Canada. I'm keeping all the cash strength lot 40 I can get my hands on. Although this year it's going to be $60 more or $40 more and 1 year younger is what I heard. Bottle handling the ball. Oh, yes, your little comment there got a little confused for a second. Thought you were getting a compass box for a poster or something. Oh, are the Edmonton Eskimos beating the Saskatchewan Roughriders? I'm sorry, Sneerson. Not good. Of course, I'm out here in the middle of Rough Rider country. By the way, for all you people in the United States, we're talking about Canadian Football League. The Saskatchewan Roughriders and the Edmonton Eskimos are rivals. They're both green and gold. Oh, wait, no. The Saskatchewan Roughriders are like silver and gold. We're green and gold. Anyway, it's a fun rivalry. Thomas Handy. Okay. I've seen Thomas Handy somewhere, but it could have been on Instagram for all I remember. I think the STDs should come to Canada. I think we should take them to a Canadian football team play our game. Anybody want to pitch in for that? We'll bring them up here and show them what it's like to play on a... We play on a bigger field, don't we? I should be talking. I hardly ever pay attention to football. I have some Sazerac rye. Johnny Football. I don't want to start talking about sports. That's Swami's thing. I can't wait till Swami starts another channel about hockey. Ranting. Hockey rants with Swami. Well, I would make it with you. You let me know, and I will plan that trip because I've never been to it either. Ralphie's been there. You can actually see some of it if you look up Ralphie. I think if you typed in Ralphie Victoria Festival, you'll see he walked around with his phone and did some interviews and so on. Need more water? You bet. No, not you, Food Quig. You're going for a quig while you're in my chat to get more water so you can refuel for another quig. You're the best, buddy. I didn't even bring any water out. All I got is a bunch of whiskey, some whiskey bottles, and an empty. Oh, wait a minute. I got beer. Anybody ever have Big Rock beer? Props to the whiskey bitch. Damn good reviewer. You know what? I watched her for a while. She was funny. I think maybe a few times she was a little more tipsy than she needed to be. And then I saw the video where she said, I'm done. I'm not getting any support. I'm not going to do this anymore. I thought she was coming back. Smoke and Bill's Matt Tips. How's it going? You haven't tasted beer since 2017. Why is that, Mr. Belushi? Cerveza. You were about 3 years late to meet Ralphie. Yeah. He's I think he's just a constant professional is all I think. He has his mind made up, and this is the way it's going to be. And that's what we see, and that's a good sign of integrity. I think that's with anybody doing anything on YouTube, especially giving advice or talking about things, is to have integrity. We don't want to talk about stuff just to sound like we know things. If I'm in a certain circle of people and they ask me what I do for a living and they don't know anything about it, well, all of a sudden I sound like an expert. But if you were around a bunch of guys that I work with, they're going to look at me like you're the least knowledgeable guy there is. I ride with a bunch of guys. Most of them ride better than I have or been riding motorcycles on longer than I have. And a lot of my whiskey knowledge I've learned from going to tastings and verbiage I repeat, right? So integrity is important. If you don't know something, if you go to a doctor and he acts like he knows everything, but he's never even heard of what condition you have, wouldn't it be helpful if he was honest and showed the integrity enough to say, I don't know yet, but we'll work together and find out what's wrong until we can get you fixed? That's what I'm getting at, right? Malted in Montreal. How you doing, buddy? I hope you enjoyed your rest last night. Hope the wife enjoyed having you around. Absolutely, Mr. Belushi. Everybody, I don't celebrate my birthday. It's actually when you were born, you had nothing, and you didn't even have a name that had to be given to you. It's the day you die is what name you made for yourself on that day and what people say to you after that day, right? That's all I'm going to say. The old man. I'm complaining about that t-shirt. It's chafing my nipples. But we got a good idea from Eric Waite to use a Scotch Test dummy coin as a pasty. Unless the doctor can't find your prostate and suggest he might need more than one. I have a good doctor. Did a full physical last year, and I said, am I have to worry about having my prostate? She says, you don't have to worry about that. Or a colonoscopy. She says, you don't need that either. She sent me for an ultrasound and told me I need to change. She told me I needed to quit drinking. And I tried to explain to her that I don't really drink that much, even though it looks like and sounds like I might. But it was my diet I needed to change. And she's like, she didn't believe me, but we're going to try to prove her wrong. Oh, thank you very much, Belushi. My mom was lovely, and I never had the heart to change the screen on my phone, man. And I hate being away here, and my dad's 91 years old. and I have two beautiful sisters that take care of him. He lives with them, and I'm very, very fortunate that way. Less carbs, less sugar. Absolutely. There's a guy I like to follow. He lives in a beautiful area in BC. He used to be a hardcore bodybuilder, and he's kind of anti that now. And he's name's Scott Abel. Call him Coach Abel. I just need to start talking and looking at his stuff. Very, very simple approach. And that's the hardest part. A lot of people, when they're talking about whether it be booze, motorbikes, anything, it's the simple part, right? You're teaching somebody martial arts, you can show them all the fancy Jackie Chan movies and all that stuff. If they don't practice the basics, the simple parts, that's your core and that's your strength. And I've let myself down on that area, but I like doing this chat, and I like, because you know what? A lot of you guys call people on their BS. That's the good part. All right, Connor Strang, how you doing? Got a lecture from a female doctor recently for admitting I have a dram or two every day. Well, you know what? There's lots of people that practice going no drinks for a while. They're food quick. Sometimes you need to think about that. 13 drams in a night might be a little hard on you. And working night shift, that messes around with our hormones a little bit, buddy. I mean, I'm just saying I like that. So, you went on whose show? Smoking Bill's Matt Tibbs? Proud to be part of the bar at the end of the universe. And thanks for the fish. We'll see how many people get that reference. Life is short, but I don't think it was meant to be, man. I think we all have an interest in continuing. We have a desire to keep going, man. Am I missing much in here? Connor Strang. Thanks, buddy. Just let Julia eat more of the chocolates. Julia eats way better than I do, Tom. She's a vegetarian, but not that kind of vegetarian. She doesn't preach it or push it on people. I have a couple other friends do, but then again, I give them a hard time. They just had a baby, and I'm always joking with them that you see that baby just tear through the vegetables. And I'm like, she eats those vegetables like she's a carnivore. Can still get it up. Hitchhiker's Guide. Doug, listen, so I did not think you would get that food quick, but who would ever guess that I'd have got it either? Maybe. I don't know about that, Belushi. You get too philosophical for this type of conversation. Hey, Scott. Yeah. Malta, Montreal. What have you done? What did you end up watching? You said you're going to watch a movie with the wife or what? I got a line on some glasses from a guy. Don't count the years, make the years count. Absolutely, Rich. Nope, that's what the Greeks did with. Man, I need to get Food Quig in here to read all the chats for me and keep up with some things, eh? You watch Gringo. Gringo? What the heck is Gringo? Or did I see Gringo and I just forget? Oh, Gringo with, whatchamacallit, and he's in a Mexican prison? That wasn't too bad, actually. Spartacus series. Swami, you're the man. I think you need to give your head a shake, though. You're not only 23, are you, Connor? MTV Unplugged again. What the heck? Welsh Toro. WT is in the house. Get so confused when people type in just WT, but they're talking to Welsh, and I think they're talking to me. Mel Gibson, Get the Gringo. I saw that. I think I saw that. Well, that's an old movie. That's been out for a long time, man. I would do a live show with Swami in Chicago, sure. Yep. Let's see if he gets there first. I seen the way he rides that motorcycle. NPR Tiny Music. Okay, man. Mainstream is just distraction. I don't even know what you're talking about. We're of a different generation there, buddy. Well, I think it's time to sit back. My hip flexors do not need to lean forward anymore. Anyway, oh, you know what? I have 2 other whiskeys that I bought here, and I'm going to think this is be all I'm going to deal with while I'm down here. I got a blend from Adelphi that I have at home as well, but I wanted to get a bottle here because this stuff is good. And what I think I'm going to do is get some of the local guys here and maybe do a whiskey tasting with them. They say they have their own club. And maybe we'll try to do something with Drams for Fams. And then I have this, which I've had before. Hello, how's this voice sounding? And they use worm tubs at this company. I was just reading about worm tubs. I've had this bottle before. She went down pretty good. Yeah, there you go. Battleship with Drams. That would be interesting. That could be a new drinking game, though, Whiskey Sneerson. The humility. Yeah, well, that's a good word to use here, eh? I mean, really, all it is really whiskey that we're drinking, guys, and I think Swami said that. I need to work on humility. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not a humble man in many ways. Richard Blanchett is the first guy that'll call me on that. I'm a one-up man. Loch Ness, you're going in? All right, guys, going for a walk with my wife. Thanks, Dan. You're welcome, buddy. I appreciate it. Is your wife going to have empty nest syndrome now that the son's moved into his own location? Is she going to go over there and do his laundry for him still? Just joking. Happy wife, happy life. I'm learning that now, Santa Cruzing. Well, touche then. Good for you. You make cash, spend it on how you desire. I'm not sure who's talking to who here. Cross chat. The meek shall inherit the earth. Absolutely. And a little bit, you know what? I have had to learn that, and I've had to remind myself. There's a guy at this job. I don't even have to work with him. He's young. I think he's, at the most in his early 30s. He's a QC for the welders, and there's a big welding project going on, and it's pretty important. But he's got a chip on his shoulder, or he's condescending. I guess one of the guys mentioned that he had gone to welding engineering. And the guy didn't say one word to him, didn't say talk to him about anything or any of this stuff. He just pulled his glove off and held up his pinky ring with his engineering ring on it. But the other guys are saying that the guy only did 3.5 years of the 5-year course it is to be a welding engineer, and that's why he's probably an inspector. I've never heard anything from the guy himself, but back to the point about kindness goes a long way. I mean, I don't like that guy. I think he needs to be slapped. I honestly do. Got a little John Wayne idea in my head now that Ralphie popped that idea. But you know what? Maybe the guy just does need a little bit of kindness and so forth. And I mean, it's all right to call him on his BS and say, "What's your problem? Why are you acting like this? Do you need a hug?" Only a young kid. Maybe he's just scared and nervous. I know what that's like when you're trying to inspect something that everybody's standing around watching you, judging you. Anyway, you're right. 3 minutes under an hour already. Thank you for the reminder, Ben. We do have to work on the fact that we are drinking nice drinks, nothing more than that. Absolutely, Welsh. A lot of us, like I said earlier, if I'm around certain people, I sound like a freaking expert when it comes to whiskey, right? I had a conversation yesterday with one of the guys all about rye, and he was very surprised. He said, man, you know an awful lot about this stuff. He says, I only drink rye. And I asked him what he drinks. And I'm like, well, that's not rye. It's mostly corn. And he wanted to know, who do I drink? What do I drink if I want only rye? I want rye. And I told him what to get. But that doesn't make me an expert. It just makes me a know-it-all, right? Don't know what's happening next week. Oh, I was talking to you. Okay. Protectors of the Quake. You hear that, Quake? People want to protect you, man. I mean, there's something else to be said in that. A little kindness goes a long way. So what are these people protecting you from? They're protecting from the people on the outside. They're protecting you from yourself. They're protecting you from what? Just thoughts. I'm not making comments. I'm just saying some thoughts. That's all. Row. What slave ship? You're on a slave ship. I'm trying to read here. Love you guys. Life is short. The dream is a dream. I'm not in no dream, man. Merrily, row your boat. If we all grew our own food, made our own clothes, optional, of course, and built our own houses, man, we wouldn't be worried about half the stuff we are, man. Quig is like the real life dude. He is. If honest to goodness, man, you are. Well, you guys, if you're in the States and you've never been to Vancouver Island, the dude would live on the island. No problem. He would love it. He'd probably not like Victoria as much. It's a bigger city, but you need to go into the backwoods of the Vancouver Island, and you would see. I am in Moose Jaw for, by the time it's done, I'll have been here 6 weeks. So I think I have about another 4 weeks, which are going to the weeks are going to get longer and longer feeling to me. I think we might not even get a day off, but I think technically the way the law is written in this province that you have to have a day off. Every 2 weeks. So it's like 14 and 2, whatever they call it. Kamloops. What about Kamloops? Belushi? Where do I go to sleep? In my bed. Where do you go to sleep? I haven't had a dream in forever, man. I don't know where this conversation is going. Nah, don't complicate it, man. It's more than a dream. Dude lived in LA, yeah, but LA ain't anything like Victoria Island. Australians love BC. They actually love the mountain areas, man. There are tons of them in Canmore, Alberta. That and a lot of guys from Quebec. 4 weeks from now, I will be camping on the beach near Tofino. Awesome, buddy. Yeah, I've seen some of your camping videos. Hope you're going to cook up some nice food. If I can find a laddie, I will. I don't even think that local pub, which isn't open today, the local whiskey bar called Old World Tavern, they don't even have a laddie in there. I'll have to look again, but I'm sure. Rabbit Eye moving in the desert for health. Sure it is. Yeah, it might be, but I don't remember my dreams is what I'm saying, Mr. Belushi. Food Quake, we do not need to hear your dreams. They would be too vivid and scary, I think. That's what I had here. Man, where is that card? I'll tell you exactly what I had. Just hang on, Malton Montreal. We're talking about that Kilholman, and I don't want to have to fake it anymore. Here, where'd it go? Here it is. It's underneath this bag. 100% Eiley is the Kilholman that I had at the tasting. All right. Michael Jackson did from a lack of REM sleep. What? Anyway, Kilholman. 100% Eiley. It was good. It was very good. The other one that I had, and I forget which one it was, but it's Ben Romick Triple Distilled. That is another one that I've got to remember to grab a bottle of. It is excellent. I don't know. Have you done much Ben Romick, Swami? Connor, I agree with you right now. There's a lot of... That's just cross chat, man. We don't need to get into it. A tote bag full of whiskey heels for my week on the beach. Are you going to do any lives? Are you able to do lives from the beach up there? Probably not, eh? You just record some? Can you record videos while you're there on your computer? That would be kind of neat, Food Creek, to do a Food Creek thing in your nice little chair, sit back. You're sitting there and you're just kind of doing your whiskey thing, like, oh, this is the nose and so forth. Yeah, man, I like the way you do your tastings, actually. It's what everybody is doing off camera, you do on camera. From now on, you'll be camping 1 week a month. That's good. You've only had one Ben Romick. Well, I think that they're an understated distillery. Hey, guys. I see the chat. It's gone haywire. Mr. Humble Braggart that hates all Eura. Who hates all Eura? And what is a humble braggart? I'm more interested in the conversation now than I am on other things here. So I have a choice, a blend or a Craig Ellis next time. It's called quigging out. Yeah, when you quig out with your spirit, that's all right. Yeah, that's the way to do it, man. Just record stuff. Even if you were going on there with Ben with a bunch of old point and shoot cameras. I'm sure you could do something like that. That would be kind of cool if you had 3 or 4 of them mounted somewhere and you did a little various videos. Santa Cruz on that Eagle Rare. I need to top it up a little bit. How about we have one little sniffer here and we get ready. I'm trying to read the chat, Ben, but the chat gets a little out of hand here, so we'll just let it be. We're going to let it be. Those are my final words. One of my favorite John Wayne scenes is when he throws that kid in the water. The heck, I can't remember the name of that movie. He picked the kid up. Kid said he didn't know how to swim. That's why he couldn't catch any fish, because he was standing with the sun behind his back, casting a shadow. Kid couldn't get to the other side of the river because he couldn't swim, and his mom wouldn't let him. John Wayne picked him up and threw him into the river. I like that. Laughed. And the kid swam. He learned to swim, and he swam to the other side of the river. I have one Klein leash, and I have never ever drank it. The only Klein leash I think I've ever tried, Belushi, is in my Compass box stuff. I've never owned a Port Ellen, but I have tried a couple Port Ellens because some people have been very nice. Some old westerns, buddy. You know what? Any of them old movies, I'll tell you one of the things I like about them is the dialogue. I mean, the dialogue in movies now is not the same. And they didn't have the special effects and stuff, and there seemed to be way better dialogue. I don't know. I'm going to finish this and we're going to go, Ben. Then I'm going to go get some dinner. You never know. Maybe I'll do another live. If I get to the right place and they're not busy, I'll just pop the computer on. What are you slashing at Connor Strang about, man? Where'd he go, Connor? You retracted something here. Hey, if we're not getting along on this chats, man. Tell it how it is, why not? So, hey, I got to do one thing here. I don't know what's going on because I'm not following the chat that close. But try to have a level of respect for everybody. If your opinion doesn't match somebody, that who cares? You guys would not like my opinion on lots of things because he has hated an entire distillery. Your employees. I don't know much about Ura, and I don't know why somebody might dislike their distillery, but that's okay. I don't like Macallan. I think their new distillery looks awesome. I think that their whiskey is not a bad whiskey, but and I don't have anything against their employees, but I don't like the way they do business. But that may not be the distillery people's part of it. It's somebody else's, right? So it is what it is, buddy. I agree. It is what it is. This stuff smells a little sweeter now, although the bottle's only been open for an hour. It's a 10-year-old. That's good stuff. Who's on at 5:30, Santa Cruz? You guys talking about Eric Waite? You know what? I agree on that aspect. I'm not sure everything that's going on, but it's we need to make things. I think we were meant to make things with our hands and do things. We feel better when we do it. Yeah. That's all I'm going to say. I work in a job where I'm always running around and I don't feel like I've accomplished anything. But I don't make things with my hands. Buckfast with Connor. I love Scott's best hooligans in the world. Man, you guys must be having one hell of a chat in here. Anyway. I'm drinking Eagle Rare 10-year-old, not single barrel. Now, because of John Belushi and maybe who else is it in here? John Belushi. I'm going to keep my eye open like crazy for the ones that say Eagle Rare on it. It's funny because I should have checked that out. I carry have that app on purpose, so I can have a reminder on my phone. That whiskey app I got. This stuff is good. Eagle Rare. What do you had that Four Roses? Didn't you get that from Don Holland? That was a very nice sample you got, Food Creek. Yeah. All right, already. Some things get out of hand here. Doesn't matter. I think I might be doing this one next. It's quite a bit more complex, and I don't know, maybe I should do the Adelphi blend, because if I get into this, that Adelphi blend will seem bland, and we don't want to do that. So okay, everybody, I've done some lives and they've gotten way longer than I wanted to, and they're just rambling on about things. Four Roses single barrel, is a great dram. It is Welsh. I have one bottle, and it's a small batch one, not the squarish tapered bottle. Another one. But hey, Eric Waite is live, gentlemen, and I appreciate you guys coming in. So why don't we hop over there and see what's going on? All right. I don't know who the troll is, but why don't we just find out who it is and get rid of him? That one is a nice one to order, buddy. I would get that in a heartbeat. Thank you, everybody. Oh, you're the troll? Well, you are controversial, I guess, but that's all right, Belushi. Oh, they think it's you. Well, John, you're just opinionated maybe or something. I don't know. You don't bother me any. Yet, it's always the first time. Thank you very much, guys. Let's go and join our friend Eric Waite. I may have to haul my computer off with me and do it from a different location because I do want to go eat. Thank you again. Cheers to all of you. Enjoy your lives and be kind.